So I just saw a fairly troubling article from the Financial Post. It looks like the federal government is going to be hiring contractors to go through, it looks like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to discover what Canadians think about weed legalization and to help police stop driving while high. So I'm not exactly sure how looking at all of our information on the social media platforms is going to help them with anything. Like, all it seems to be doing is we're just giving the police in Canada a lot of information about our whereabouts. But, I'll read a little bit of the story. But a new government tendering notice posted this week describes a project that will collect marijuana-related information on Canadians, from how often and where people light up to what type of buds users prefer to criminal activities. So that's probably what it's mainly for, criminal activities. Why does the government need to know what type of bud you prefer? Where people light up? Like, what? Okay, so yeah, that's to get people who are smoking in public, so then they could give them a massive fine. Like, this is the excuse. This is just a huge tax grab that they're doing. They should just keep it the way it is now, pretty much, and just let stores sell it. They don't need to go through all of this researching. Trudeau campaigned on this. And it's taken him 4 years to get it done. And obviously he does it right at the end of his term. So that's like the last thing in people's minds. But, he's taking a sweet-ass time. It's costing tons of money. And it's just a huge tax grab. And it's going to give police more information about Canadian citizens. And this is why data is pretty much one of the most valuable things nowadays, more valuable than gold. The more companies know about you, the easier it is they can sell things to you. The more governments know about you, the easier it is for them to track you down and shut you up. This is very useful for all different types of reasons. And this is another reason why you probably shouldn't use Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, which I don't use any of these things anymore, mainly because I can't use Twitter anymore. And Facebook is shit. I haven't used that in years. And I don't use Instagram either, that Facebook also uses. So yeah, fuck these companies. And obviously they're working with governments, giving away all of our information and shit. They don't give a shit. They're gonna work with China, give away their citizens that are saying mean things about the Communist Party. They're gonna give away information of ex-Muslims in Saudi Arabia. They don't give a shit. As long as somebody gives them enough money, they're going to do it. Or, puts enough pressure on them, like some government that says, oh, we're going to regulate shit out of you. We're going to charge you a $50 million fine like the EU does if you don't comply with our regulations. But it goes on, for example, the government hopes the effort will help it design communication strategies to address specific public safety risks, such as driving while high. So, once again, I don't know how looking through all of our social media platforms, are you just going to wait and see, well, hey guys, I'm going to smoke a blunt in Doobie. Then they're going to track that person's location. They're like, oh, they're driving while high. Then a cop's going to pull up. They're going to come and fine you. I don't know. But the winning bidder will use algorithms to sift through the extract data from social media sources, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. In the process, the government also wants the contractor to capture and explore corresponding individual level data, including details on the age, sex, and location. So why are all those relevant, right, to discovering our attitudes on the legalization of weed? Once again, this just seems to be like a massive tool for the police department to track down people smoking weed outside or while driving, and then finding them, right? And then sex and location. I don't know. It's sex. This is, I guess, for companies to know what would advertise for, I don't know, but such as the province or territory of the social media users. So yeah, location too. It also noted that self-report surveys can generate a wealth of information about citizens' attitudes and behaviors related to marijuana. So, however, it pointed out that these surveys are susceptible to a number of biases, such as closed-ended nature of questions that can affect the quality of the data. So it's like, okay, like it's a pretty straightforward question. Do you support legalization of weed or not? Right? Like you don't need to go in depth and search through their Twitter and their Facebook and their social media platforms to figure out what they really truly think, because they could be lying. Maybe they say they support weed legalization on a pamphlet, but really on their Twitter platform they're always like, oh, we should ban weed, fuck weed, and so they really could be lying. So this gives us a better idea of what they really think. Like, come on, what the fuck, so like this is why you shouldn't trust these social media platforms. And it's kind of bullshit that they're like, oh, we're a free market platform, this is a free company. But it's like, no, these companies, the only reason they exist is because of the government, and they work with the governments to suppress people, to suppress the people. Like, governments oftentimes work through these social media platforms to silence people. So then they're like, oh, well, we're not affecting your freedom of speech, we're not infringing on anything like that. But then they're going to these corporations and stuff. They're like, oh, do this, and we're going to give you this benefit and this benefit. And, do this, suppress these people, and we're going to let you have this contract and have access to all of these contracts. So it's like, no, fuck this bullshit. And, people should be calling this out, and this is pretty dubious. Like, I don't know, like, this is why data is so important nowadays. This is why people really got to be careful and start to try to protect it more, and be careful what you post on social media, because everybody wants that information. They want to sell shit to you. They want to find out where you are. You don't know what people can use this information for. Don't get a 23andMe test that is bullshit. Don't do an Ancestry.com. Don't even get one of these step counter things, because all of this stuff is just data that companies can use. Insurance companies can use that. They're like, they look through your Ancestry.com. They're like, oh, well, his family has a history of this type of illness and this and obesity. So because of all this, and we looked at a step counter and he doesn't fucking walk at all, let's raise his insurance rate to this. So this helps all types of people. So be careful what you give out, because nowadays data is more important and is worth more than gold. But that's all I pretty much had to say. If you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.